This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Well, joining us today is Ryan Mee, the CEO of Fulcrum Metals, following further updates on the ongoing exploration at Big Bear. Now, we only spoke on this project last week, I think, Ryan. It was talking about the phase 2 exploration there, where we talked about the 3-kilometre gold corridor and the 4 drill prospects there. But further news today showing a bit more detail here, talking about rock chip samples up to 45 grams per tonne gold, which is obviously a standout, but that's pretty significant. But also expanding of the programme into 2024. But it also mentions about funding for this programme as well. Now, from my memory, last time you said that effectively the Big Bear exploration programme had exceeded your expectations. So is this RNS here and this announcement here of the potential expanding of that programme into next year really remnant of the fact that this is a lot bigger than you thought?
Yes, good morning, Mark. All those points you've just said are absolutely true. We're really excited with the results of what we've done over the summer at Big Bear. Now, to really bring forward the value that we see in this project, we really need to be able to perform a drill program, which is going to cover this expanded in terms of size and number of drill targets and drill prospects. So, we originally was thinking we might have 2 or 3 targets out of this work. But actually, we've got 4 drill-ready targets and we've got 5 additional drill prospects. So, it doesn't make sense from an operational point of view to go out and just test, half of these.
Okay.
We really need to go out there and have a good look at all the 4 plus the 5. So we need this, the area needs and warrants this larger program.
Okay. So you would look potentially to engage in this program. I mean, you talk there about funding. Is this because you would perhaps require additional funds to go down this expanded exploration route? Is that where this funding sort of comment has come from?
Yes, absolutely. So from the IPO, we had a budget for drilling. And as we've just said, this area that needs drill testing is larger than we anticipated at the time, which is obviously, fantastic news from a project level and the development. Now, we obviously need to make commercial decisions in the best interests of the company at all times. So we really need to go after this larger program to go and find, the discoveries. We've got the world-class Hemlo mine just 80 kilometers over to the east. And it's actually the only significant mine on the entire belt. And that in itself is an anomaly. So this is the size of the prize we're looking for. It's about finding significant discoveries. And we need to make sure that, as we progress the project, we give the project the best potential to go and find this discovery. Like I said, it's an anomaly that there's only this Hemlo deposit on this belt. We're seeing all the right ingredients to find the next significant deposit. So we've got to put an appropriate program for us to go to hopefully go and find the next one.
Okay, so you've got to take a bit of time just to plan the program there to get the best potential, like you say, from the project. So you'd be looking, I assume, because we are, I think from memory, you wouldn't be able to get actually on the ground until next season at Big Bear. So will you be looking to spend until next season planning that program and putting together the cost requirements so that when you need to, you can go and seek those funds to go and do that extra drilling?
Yeah, so we could get out to Big Bear and drill up to probably at the end of October, possibly early November. Now we have drill permits in place which covers a number of these targets, but not all of them. So we've put applications in to cover the entire pipeline of drill targets that we have. And we So given that time that we need to formulate this program, which obviously we have a very good idea about already at this stage, but and notwithstanding actually that a larger program has significant cost savings in terms of mobilization. So there are some really big benefits to the company on that front. So, we'll have this program, drill program and drill permits all in place for in earnest for the start of the next kind of summer window, which will be, weather dependent sometime between, mid-April.
Okay.
Next year.
Okay. Well, of course, as part of this announcement, the RNS also talked about the Tully project, which is recently acquired by Fulcrum. I know you were pretty excited to have got hold of this project. It has a gold resource estimate of 107,000 ounces there. And we were talking before about expanding that resource, and you wanted to add substantially to it and get the project teed up for drilling. Well, of course, you've announced today that you do plan to start drilling in November and December, propose to drill over 1,500 meters to support the resource definition. So are you deploying then, is your focus going to be, because you did say you could drill at Big Bear, but are you perhaps more shifting the focus here, the immediate focus, let's say, onto Tully in the short term and then making the most of the Big Bear opportunities later in the year? Is that fair to say? Or later next year, I should say.
Yeah, exactly. So this is an example of leveraging your portfolio. We were fortunate enough to be able to bring the Tully project into the company early this year. At that point, we didn't know the number of drill targets that we'd have at Big Bear. We weren't sure at that time on how the fabric of the Schreiber Pyramid area knitted together. Obviously, we've got excellent results there, but what Tully brings to us is a project where, as you say, it's got a resource, it's got expansion potential, and this is essentially a project which you drill over the winter months where the ground's a little bit harder than over the summer. So actually what this is, by refocusing in the immediate term drilling operations at Tully, what this actually does is this moves the company materially closer to having projects which we can drill throughout the year. And I think that's a fundamental development actually as part of this announcement. And that is we're now not seasonally dependent on getting a drill bit out into the ground, because that's one of the key drivers, for creating value for shareholders.
I think that's a very important point, actually, to be able to almost explore all year round is very nice. You don't have to have the down period where you're out of season for drilling. You can almost keep the excitement and the news flow going. So you're looking to get drilling fairly soon. Is everything, as you said last time, is everything teed up now? Are you ready to go, pretty much?
There's a few things that we still need to sort, but we've got a very good idea and pretty advanced in what we want to do out there. There's a lot of historic data that comes with the Tully project, and we know that the last drill campaign, which was some 10 years ago, we know that north, to the east and down plunge, that they intersected economic gold grades. We're looking at 8 grams a ton over 6.5 meters, just over 3 meters at 5.5 grams a ton, 10.5 meters at just over 1.3 grams a ton gold. So we know that this deposit expands, and it's not part of the current resource model. And we also know that the resource model is highly constrained to, the significant high-grade veins. This deposit is almost like a set of ladders lined up against each other. And this resource model at the moment is constrained to the steps on the ladder, which is the high-grade veins. But we know that the gold has been found in these kind of subset cross-cutting additional vein sets. So we know there's expansion opportunities through reinterpreting the geological model. We know that we can drill at depth. We know we can drill along strike. So there's a lot of ways for us to quickly meet those objectives and get on that pathway towards the larger resource here.
Okay, and what would be the objective of this drill program here? We're talking to help increase that resource, understand the geology a bit more, or indeed to find the lode, if you like, the big deposit, if there is one there. What objectives do you want to achieve with this drill program?
So with this drill program, our main objectives is a bit of a combination, and I say that because, we're aware of drills that were performed in, the 1960s, which were, they didn't have downhill drill surveys at that point. So, and what that means is once that drill goes into the ground, there's rudimentary tests to see where they think that drill ended up, because, these things, they don't go in a straight line down as diagrams suggest. They bounce off hard rocks all over the place. And we know that those early drills, they intercepted some, really good gold grades, 11.5 grams a ton over 5 meters. I think it's about 240 grams a ton gold over half a meter, just a couple that spring to mind. So we know that there's some historic drills that need bringing into the current data set. We know that obviously, we can expand this resource down plunge, along strike, and below the existing resource model. So what we're just designing is the optimum drill program that will set us on that way. So we're looking at expansion on multiple levels here.
Okay, expansion.
And it's not just that. There's other things that we're looking at too, which I think maybe we can do a deep dive into Tully at a later date.
Yeah, I think that would be very good when you have your plan. We talked about this last time, doing it on maybe Big Bear, where we do a special feature on the actual program. Here we can talk about how you determined what you're going to drill, why, and what you're looking for. But effectively, you're looking to sort of re-look at some of those historic drills, bring it into a modern setting, and include it in your data set, and also expand the resource. But it's the first active real drill program, isn't it, effectively, for Fulcrum?
It is, and I think it's actually quite impressive. We listed in February this year, and we've got a portfolio of projects, and through this, switching around the drill focus in the immediate term, I think it really demonstrates the strength of our portfolio of projects, and the flexibility that allows us to react pretty quickly to, in this case, things substantially improving for us. And it's allowed us to kind of reposition us a little bit so that we can have projects which we can drill all year round. And I think that's vital for early exploration companies like ourselves.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much, Ryan Mead, the CEO of Fulcrum Metals, for giving us that update. I look forward to doing more of a special feature on this programme, and looking forward to seeing what the winter brings for the activities here at the project. And of course, I will see you, all being well, tomorrow evening in London, along with Darren Hazelwood and Mark Sale, for that fireside discussion. It should be interesting. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yes, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. It promises to be quite a unique event compared to your standard presentation evenings. So, I look forward to seeing everyone that can attend, and of course you'll be doing a live feed for those that are interested but can't make it. So now I'm really excited about that too.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for your time.
Thanks, Max. Always a pleasure.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like, or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.